The sleek starship Aventura glided through the cosmic expanse, its hull gleaming under the light of distant stars. Inside the cockpit, Alex leaned back in the pilot's seat, his muscular frame relaxed but alert. Beside him, Max fiddled with a holographic display, his nimble fingers dancing across the controls. "You know," Max said, breaking the comfortable silence, "when they said top secret cargo, I was expecting something a bit more exciting, not a glorified space FedEx run." Alex chuckled, his deep voice resonating in the confined space. "Careful what you wish for, buddy. Last time you said that, we ended up in that Martian prison for a week." "Hey, how was I supposed to know their queen had a thing for Earthmen?" Max grinned, running a hand through his messy hair. "Besides, you seem to enjoy the attention." "Focus, Max. We've got a job to do," Alex said, but a smile tugged at the corners of his mouth. "What's our ETA?" Max checked the nav system. "About 3 hours to the drop point. Plenty of time for you to regale me with more of your heroic exploits." Alex was about to retort when a blaring alarm cut through the air. Red warning lights flashed across the control panel. "What the hell?" Alex's hands flew across the controls. "Max, what's happening?" Max's fingers danced frantically over the holographic display. "We've hit some kind of anomaly. It's screwing with our systems." The ship lurched violently, throwing both men against their restraints. Through the viewport, space itself seemed to twist and warp. "Hang on!" Alex shouted, gripping the controls with white knuckles. "This is going to be rough." The Aventura spun out of control, plummeting through the cosmic distortion. Alex and Max fought to regain control, but it was futile. With a bone-jarring impact, the ship crashed onto the surface of an unknown planet. Silence fell, broken only by the hiss of escaping coolant and the crackle of sparking circuits. "Max?" Alex groaned, shaking his head to clear the fog. "You alive?" "Unfortunately," came the muffled reply, "though I think my dignity didn't survive the landing." They unstrapped themselves and stumbled out of the cockpit. The cargo hold was a mess, but the mysterious container they were transporting seemed intact. "Well, that's one bit of good news," Alex muttered. "Let's see where we've landed." They made their way to the airlock, ran a quick atmospheric check, and stepped out onto alien soil. The landscape before them was breathtaking, lush purple vegetation, crystalline structures jutting from the ground, and a sky painted in hues of lavender and gold. "Alex," Max whispered, his eyes wide, "I don't think we're in Kansas anymore." Before Alex could respond, they heard rustling from the nearby foliage. Both men tensed, reaching for weapons that weren't there, a habit from their military days. What emerged from the alien flora made their jaws drop. A group of women, their skin a mesmerizing shade of blue, stepped into view. They were stunningly beautiful, with features that seemed almost too perfect to be real. Hello," Alex managed, trying to maintain his composure. "We come in peace." The blue-skinned women stared at them in fascination. One of them, a tall, athletic-looking female with intricate tattoos adorning her arms, stepped forward. "Welcome, strange ones," she said in accented but understandable English. "I am Nia. You have arrived on Mistral." Max leaned close to Alex, whispering, "Did we die and go to some kind of cosmic Playboy mansion?" Alex elbowed him discreetly. "I'm Alex, and this is Max. Our ship crashed. We're on a delivery mission." Another woman, shorter with an intelligent gleam in her eyes, peered at them curiously. "Fascinating. Visitors from another world. I'm Pelea, chief scientist of our settlement. You must tell us everything about your journey." As they spoke, More Mystrilian women gathered, their gazes fixed on Alex and Max with undisguised interest. The two men found themselves at the center of a growing crowd of blue-skinned beauties. "Is it just me?" Max murmured. "Or are we suddenly very popular?" Alex nodded, trying not to stare at the sea of attractive faces surrounding them. "Stay focused. We need to repair the ship and complete our mission." Naya stepped closer, her eyes roaming over Alex's muscular frame. "You are warriors, yes. Your bodies speak of great strength." "Ex-military," Alex replied, acutely aware of her proximity. "Now we're independent contractors." Pelea circled Max, studying him intently. "And you have the look of a thinker, an engineer, perhaps." Max puffed out his chest. "Guilty as charged. Top of my class at the Galactic Academy of Sciences." A ripple of excited murmurs passed through the crowd. Alex and Max exchanged a glance, equal parts bewildered and intrigued. "You must come to our settlement," Nia declared. "We have much to discuss, and you need rest after your ordeal." As they prepared to follow the Mystrilians, a loud crash came from inside the Aventura. Alex and Max spun around, tensing for danger. "The cargo!" Alex hissed. "We can't leave it unguarded." They rushed back to the ship, the curious Mystrilian women trailing behind. In the cargo hold, they found the mysterious container had burst open. Amidst the debris sat a small, alien child with iridescent skin and large, expressive eyes. "Well, hello there," Max said, crouching down. "Looks like we had a stowaway." The child, clearly female, looked up at them with intelligent eyes. When she spoke, her voice seemed to resonate in their minds rather than their ears. "I am Liina," she said telepathically. "You must protect me. The ancient evil stirs, and Mistral is in grave danger." Alex and Max stared at each other, then at the assembled Mystrilian women, who looked just as shocked. "So much for an easy delivery job," Alex sighed. Max grinned, despite the gravity of the situation. "Hey, at least it's not boring anymore." As night fell on Mistral, casting the alien landscape in ethereal hues, Alex and Max found themselves in the heart of the Mystrilian settlement. They sat around a crackling fire, surrounded by curious and admiring blue-skinned women. Nia leaned close to Alex, her voice low and sultry. "Tell us more about your adventures among the stars, brave Alex. Surely a warrior like you has many tales to share." Alex cleared his throat, acutely aware of her proximity. "Well, there was this one time on Mars—" "Oh, please," Max interrupted with a dramatic eye roll. "If you want real stories, ladies, let me tell you about the time I outsmarted a Venusian supercomputer." Pelea's eyes lit up. "A supercomputer? How fascinating! Please do elaborate." As Max launched into his tale, gesticulating wildly, Alex noticed Liina sitting quietly at the edge of the group. The alien child's eyes were distant, as if seeing something beyond their current surroundings. "Hey," he said softly, moving to sit beside her. "You okay?" Liina's telepathic voice whispered in his mind. "The darkness grows. Can you not feel it?" A chill ran down Alex's spine. "What darkness? What's coming?" Before Liina could answer, a commotion erupted on the other side of the fire. Max stood atop a log, reenacting what appeared to be a daring escape from a collapsing space station. "And there I was, with only my wits, a broken laser spanner, and a half-eaten protein bar," Max declared, his audience hanging on every word. "How did you survive?" one of the Mystrilian women gasped. Max grinned. "Well, it's quite simple when you understand the basics of quantum entanglement and have a good grasp of interpretive dance." The gathered women looked confused but impressed. Alex couldn't help but chuckle at his friend's antics. "Your companion seems to enjoy the attention," Nia observed, a hint of amusement in her voice. Alex nodded. "Max has always had a flair for the dramatic, but don't let the jokes fool you. He's brilliant when it counts." "And what about you, Alex?" Nia's gaze was intense. "Do you enjoy our attention as well?" Alex felt his face heat up, and it wasn't from the fire. It's certainly flattering, but we really need to focus on repairing our ship and figuring out what's going on with Lena and this ancient evil she mentioned." Nia's expression grew serious. "Yes, the child's words are troubling. Our legends speak of a great darkness that once threatened Mistril, but that was ages ago." Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden tremor that shook the ground. The fire flickered, casting eerie shadows across the startled faces of the gathered Mistrilians. "What was that?" Max asked, his storytelling bravado faltering. Lena's voice echoed in everyone's minds, filled with urgency and fear. "It comes. The ancient evil awakens." As if on cue, a bone-chilling roar echoed across the landscape. The Mistrilian women huddled together, fear evident in their eyes. Alex stood, his military training kicking in. "Max, we need to get back to the ship. Whatever's coming, we might need our gear." Max nodded, all traces of humor gone from his face. "Right behind you, buddy." As they turned to leave, Nia caught Alex's arm. "Be careful," she said, concern evident in her voice. "Mistral has many dangers, even for brave warriors like you." Alex gave her a reassuring smile. "Don't worry, danger is our middle name." "Actually," Max chimed in, "my middle name is Bartholomew, but I try not to advertise that." Despite the tension, a few chuckles rippled through the group. Alex and Max set off towards their crashed ship, Lena following close behind. As they walked, Alex turned to the alien child. "All right, Lena, I think it's time you told us exactly what we're dealing with here." Lena's mental voice was solemn. "The fate of Mistral, and perhaps the galaxy, rests in your hands. Are you prepared for what comes next?" Alex and Max exchanged a look, years of friendship and shared adventures passing between them in an instant. "Ready or not," Max said with a grin, "looks like we're in for one hell of a ride." The roar sounded again, closer this time. Whatever ancient evil lurked on Mistral, it was clear that their adventure was only just beginning. Surprisingly, the night passed peacefully. The Mistral sun rose, casting an ethereal purple glow across the alien landscape. Alex wiped sweat from his brow as he tinkered with the Aventura's damaged power core. Max lounged nearby, supposedly supervising, but mostly ogling a group of Mistrilian women who had gathered to watch the repairs. "You know," Max drawled, "I'm starting to think crash landing here wasn't such a bad thing after all." Alex grunted, wrestling with a stubborn piece of tech. "Focus, Casanova. We need to get this ship operational." "Relax, buddy. When have I ever let you down?" Max grinned, then turned to the onlookers. "Ladies, who wants to learn about quantum mechanics?" A chorus of giggles erupted. Alex rolled his eyes but couldn't suppress a smile. Their predicament was serious, but Max's levity kept things from getting too grim. Nea approached, her lithe form moving with predatory grace. "How goes the repair, brave Alex?" "Slowly," he admitted, trying not to stare at her curves. "Your planet's unique energy field is interfering with our systems." "Perhaps I can help," Nea purred, leaning close. "I may not understand your technology, but I have other skills that might prove useful." Alex's wrench slipped, clanging loudly against the hull. He cleared his throat. Thanks, But maybe you could tell me more about Mistral's defenses. If there's a threat coming, we need to be prepared." Nia's expression grew serious. "Of course. Come, I'll show you our sacred ruins. They hold secrets of our past, and perhaps our future." As they walked away, Max called out, "Don't do anything I wouldn't do." Alex shot back, "That doesn't narrow it down much." Their laughter faded as Nia led Alex into the lush Mistralian jungle. Strange bioluminescent plants pulsed with inner light. Creatures that defied description flitted through the canopy. "This is incredible," Alex breathed, his trained eyes scanning for potential threats and marveling at the beauty simultaneously. Nia smiled, pleased by his reaction. "Mistral is a world of wonders, Alex, and dangers." As if on cue, a vine-like tendril snaked towards his ankle. Nia's reflexes were lightning fast. She pulled him back, their bodies pressed close. "Thanks," Alex said, acutely aware of their proximity. "I owe you one." "Perhaps you can repay me later," Nia winked, then continued walking. They emerged into a clearing dominated by ancient, crumbling structures. Intricate glyphs covered the weathered stone, pulsing with faint energy. "These ruins predate our civilization," Nia explained. "They speak of a great conflict, a darkness that threatened to consume all life." Alex ran his hand over the symbols, feeling a faint vibration. "And you think this ancient evil Liena mentioned is connected?" Nia nodded gravely. "Our legends warn of its return, but they also speak of champions from beyond the stars." Her gaze locked with his. "Perhaps that is why you are here, Alex." The weight of responsibility settled on his shoulders. Before he could respond, a distant explosion rocked the jungle. "Max," Alex groaned. "What's he done now?" They raced back to the crash site, finding it covered in a strange, shimmering foam. Max stood in the center, his face and clothes splattered with the substance. Pelea was beside him, looking equally disheveled but excited. "Alex," Max beamed. "You won't believe it. We've made a breakthrough in xenochemistry." Pelea nodded enthusiastically. "By combining Mistralian enzymes with your earth compounds, we've created a substance with incredible properties." Alex pinched the bridge of his nose. "And the explosion?" Max waved dismissively. "Minor setback. But think of the possibilities. This foam could revolutionize space travel or coat half the jungle," Alex finished, noticing the expanding puddle of foam. Nia stepped forward, her voice stern but tinged with amusement. "Perhaps future experiments should be conducted away from the village?" Max and Pelea had the decency to look sheepish. "Right," Max nodded. "Sorry about that. But hey, at least the ship's clean now." As they worked to contain the foam situation, Lena appeared, her large eyes taking in the scene. Her mental voice echoed in their minds. "Interesting. Is this a common mating ritual for your species?" Alex choked, while Max burst out laughing. "Not exactly, kid," Max chuckled. "Though I wouldn't mind if Pelea wanted to get foamy again." Pelea blushed a deeper shade of blue. "Perhaps we should focus on more productive endeavors." "Agreed," Alex said, trying to steer the conversation back on track. "Liena, can you tell us more about this ancient evil? How do we fight it?" Liena's expression grew solemn. "The darkness feeds on fear, on division. It seeks to isolate and conquer. Only united can Mistral hope to stand against it." "Great," Max quipped. "So we just need to unite an entire planet of gorgeous alien women who seem very interested in dividing us. No pressure." As if to prove his point, a group of Mistralian women approached, bearing gifts and flirtatious smiles. "We've prepared a feast in your honor," one said. Her eyes locked on Alex. And we'd love to learn more about Earth customs, another added, sidling up to Max. Nia and Pelea exchanged looks of annoyance. Alex felt torn between duty and desire. We should really focus on preparing defenses, he said, though his resolve wavered. Come on, Alex, Max cajoled. All work and no play makes for dull space adventurers. Besides, we might learn something useful. Reluctantly, Alex agreed. The feast was a lavish affair, with exotic foods and drinks that defied description. As the night wore on, the flirtations grew bolder. Alex found himself constantly flanked by admiring Mistrilians, each vying for his attention. Nia watched from afar, her expression unreadable. When she finally approached, her voice was cool. "Enjoying our hospitality, Alex?" He winced at her tone. "Nia, it's not what it looks like. I'm just trying to gather information, build alliances." "Is that what you call it on Earth?" she asked, eyebrow raised. Before he could respond, the ground trembled. A deep, ominous rumble echoed across the landscape. The festivities halted, replaced by nervous murmurs. Lena's mental voice cut through the chaos. "It comes. The ancient evil stirs." In the distance, a massive shape rose from the jungle. It defied description, a writhing mass of darkness that seemed to devour light itself. "Well," Max said, his usual humor strained, "I think the party just got crashed." Alex snapped into action. "Everyone, stay calm. Nia, gather your warriors. Max, Pelea, we need weapons. Anything you can cobble together from our tech and yours." As the Mistrilians scrambled to prepare, Alex pulled Max aside. "We need to talk." "Bit busy with the impending doom, buddy," Max quipped. "This is serious," Alex growled. "We're not equipped for this. We should be focusing on repairing the ship, getting off this planet." Max's eyes widened. "What, and leave them to face that thing alone? Since when does Alex Mason run from a fight? Since we crash-landed on an alien world with no backup and no real understanding of what we're up against," Alex shot back. "This isn't our fight, Max." "Like hell it isn't," Max retorted. "These people need us. Lena needs us. And don't tell me you're not feeling something for Nia." Alex's jaw clenched. "That's not the point." "Isn't it?" Max pressed. "Look, I get it. This is scary. It's big. But running away? That's not us, man. We've faced worse odds." "Have we?" Alex asked, his voice low. "This isn't some Martian prison or corporate security force. This is ancient, cosmic-level evil. We're out of our depth." Max put a hand on his friend's shoulder. "Maybe, but we're not alone. We've got a planet full of badass blue women and a telepathic kid on our side. Plus, you've got me, genius extraordinaire." Despite himself, Alex cracked a smile. "You're impossible, you know that?" "Part of my charm," Max grinned. "Now, are we going to save this planet or what?" Before Alex could answer, Nia approached, her face grim. "The darkness advances. We need to know, are you with us, Alex?" He looked at Max, then at Nia, feeling the weight of the moment. In the distance, the writhing mass of evil grew closer. Alex took a deep breath, made his decision. "We're with you," he said firmly. "All the way." Nia's relief was palpable. She clasped his arm in a warrior's grip. "Then let us face this evil together." As they moved to join the others, Lena's voice echoed in their minds once more. "The true test begins. Are you ready to face not just the darkness without, but the darkness within?" Alex and Max exchanged glances. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them as they always had, together. The ancient evil loomed, a cosmic horror beyond imagination. But on Mistral, an unlikely band of heroes prepared to make their stand. The fate of the planet, and perhaps the galaxy, hung in the balance. The writhing mass of darkness loomed over Mistral, blotting out the purple sky. Alex, Max, and their Mistralian allies stood at the ready, a motley crew of humans, blue-skinned warriors, and one enigmatic alien child. "So," Max quipped, his voice tight with tension, "any last-minute plans to save the world?" Alex gripped his makeshift weapon, a fusion of Earth tech and Mistralian crystals. "Stay alive, stop the evil, maybe crack a few jokes along the way." "Now you're speaking my language," Max grinned. Nia stepped forward, her eyes blazing with determination. "Mistralians! Today we fight not just for our world, but for the galaxy itself." As if in response, the darkness pulsed, sending out tendrils of void that grasped at the landscape. Where they touched, life withered and died. "Okay, that's not good," Max muttered. Lena's mental voice cut through their minds. "The Devourer seeks to consume all. It is why I was sent here, to warn and to help." Alex turned to the small alien. "All right, kid. Time for the full story. Who are you really, and who sent you?" Lena's large eyes seemed to shimmer with ancient knowledge. "I am the last of the Guardians, a race as old as the cosmos itself. We have fought the Devourer across eons and galaxies. My people sensed it stirring here on Mistral and sent me to prepare you." "Prepare us?" Pelia asked. Her scientific curiosity piqued even in the face of cosmic horror. "Yes," Lena nodded. "The Mistralians are descendants of an ancient spacefaring race that once helped imprison the Devourer. The key to defeating it lies in your very DNA." A massive tendril of darkness lashed out, smashing through ancient ruins. The group scattered, narrowly avoiding being crushed. "Great!" Alex shouted over the chaos. "So how do we activate this DNA superpower?" Lena's voice was calm amidst the storm. "Unite. The Devourer feeds on fear, on division. Only together can you unlock the power within." Max ducked as a shadow tentacle whipped overhead. No pressure or anything. Alex's mind raced. He looked at Nia, saw the fierce determination in her eyes, and suddenly knew what he had to do. In that moment, facing cosmic annihilation, everything became crystal clear. "Nia," he called out, "marry me." The battlefield fell silent for a heartbeat. Nia stared at him, shock evident on her face. "What?" "You heard me," Alex grinned, adrenaline coursing through his veins. "Let's unite our people right here, right now. What do you say?" A slow smile spread across Nia's face. "You have strange timing, Earthman. But yes, I accept," Max whooped. "That's my boy. Nothing like an apocalyptic wedding to spice things up." Pelea stepped forward, her voice carrying surprising authority. "As chief scientist and keeper of our oldest traditions, I can perform the ceremony." The Mistralians gathered around, forming a circle of blue bodies that pulsed with an inner light. Alex and Nea stood at the center, hands clasped. Pelea began to chant in an ancient tongue. As she spoke, the air thrummed with power. The Mistralians began to glow, their blue skin taking on an ethereal quality. The Devourer howled, sensing the shift in energy. It lashed out with renewed fury, but its tendrils seemed to recoil from the growing light. "It's working!" Max shouted. "Keep it up, lovebirds!" Pelea's chant reached a crescendo. "By the ancient laws of Mistral, I pronounce you united in body, mind, and spirit." A pulse of energy exploded outward from Alex and Nea. It washed over the assembled Mistralians, igniting something primal within them. Their eyes blazed with cosmic fire, and they moved with newfound purpose. Lena's mental voice rang out. "Now, channel your unity against the darkness." Alex felt power surging through him, unlike anything he'd ever experienced. He locked eyes with Nia, saw the same energy reflected there. Together, they raised their hands towards the devourer. A beam of pure light erupted from the gathered Mistrillians, with Alex and Nia at its center. It pierced the writhing darkness, eliciting an otherworldly screech of pain and rage. "It's hurting it," Pelea cried out, "but it's not enough." Max stepped forward, his face set with determination. "Then let's give it a little science boost." He pulled out a device cobbled together from ship parts and Mistrillian tech. "Pelea, remember our foam experiment? I think it's time for the encore." Pelea's eyes widened in understanding. She rushed to Max's side, making last-minute adjustments to the device. "If this works, it'll work," Max assured her, "because we're awesome." They activated the device. A stream of shimmering particles joined the beam of light, enhancing and amplifying its power. The devourer's form began to waver, holes appearing in its inky mass. Liena's voice echoed in their minds once more. "Now, guardians of Mistral, push it back to the void from whence it came." With a final, heroic effort, the combined forces of human ingenuity, Mistrillian heritage, and cosmic guardianship thrust against the ancient evil. The devourer let out one last, reality-shaking howl before imploding in on itself, leaving behind nothing but a faint shimmer in the air. Silence fell over Mistral. Then, slowly, cheers began to erupt. Blue bodies embraced, laughed, cried in relief. Alex found himself crushed in a bear hug by both Nia and Max. "We did it!" Max whooped. "We saved the world! Galaxy? Whatever, we kicked cosmic butt." Nia pulled back, her eyes shining with a mix of victory and something deeper. "So, husband, what now?" Alex grinned. "Well, wife, I think we have a honeymoon to plan. After we finish saving the galaxy, of course." Pelea approached, holding Liena's hand. The small alien child looked tired but satisfied. "There is much to discuss," Pelea said. "The secrets unlocked today. They change everything we thought we knew about our history." Over the next few days, as Mistral recovered from the battle, the truth of their origins came to light. The Mistrillians were indeed descendants of a highly advanced race that had helped imprison the Devourer eons ago. Their blue skin and unique biology were adaptations designed to channel cosmic energy. "So, you're basically living batteries," Max mused. "Very attractive batteries." Pelea swatted his arm playfully. "We are far more than that. Our people were once great explorers and peacekeepers of the galaxy. Perhaps it is time we reclaim that legacy." As the Aventura underwent final repairs enhanced by Mistrillian technology, Alex and Max found themselves facing a decision. "You know," Max said, leaning against the ship's hull, "we could stay here, help rebuild, explore all those ancient ruins. It wouldn't be a bad life." Alex nodded, considering. "True, but there's a whole galaxy out there, full of worlds that might need our help, and who knows what other cosmic horrors are lurking." Nia approached, her warrior stride now tempered with the grace of leadership. "Why choose? The stars call to our people once more. We have much to relearn and much to offer the galaxy." A smile spread across Alex's face. "Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting?" "Indeed," Nia grinned. "The Aventura has room for a few more crew members, does it not?" And so, as the purple sun of Mistral rose on a new era, the Aventura lifted off with its expanded crew. Alex took the pilot's seat with Nia by his side as co-captain. Max manned the engineering station, already bickering good-naturedly with Pelea about optimal warp configurations. And in a specially designed chair, little Liena sat, her large eyes fixed on the stars that awaited them. "So, Max called out. "Where to first, O fearless leaders?" Alex and Nia exchanged a look of pure adventure. "Wherever the galaxy needs us," Alex replied. As the Aventura jumped to light speed, leaving Mistral behind, Alex couldn't help but marvel at how much had changed. What had started as a simple delivery job had turned into a battle for cosmic survival, an awakening of an ancient race, and the beginning of a grand adventure. He glanced around the bridge, at the unlikely family he'd found among the stars. Max caught his eye and gave a thumbs up. Nia squeezed his hand. Pelea was already deep in discussion with Lena about the nature of space-time. Whatever challenges awaited them out there in the vast expanse of the universe, Alex knew one thing for certain. They'd face them together, with courage, science, and probably a few bad jokes along the way. The Aventura streaked across the cosmos, carrying with it the hopes of Mistral and the promise of new discoveries. For Alex, Max, and their blue-skinned companions, the greatest adventure of all was just beginning. As they soared into the unknown, Lena's voice echoed one last time in their minds. "Remember, Guardians, the true power lies not in cosmic energy or ancient tech, but in the bonds you share. Together, you are unstoppable." Alex smiled. Cosmic horrors, alien mysteries, uncharted worlds. Bring it on. The crew of the Aventura was ready for anything the galaxy could throw at them. And so, with laughter, love, and a spirit of unbridled adventure, they set course for the next chapter in their star-spanning saga.